Hello, it's day 5. Yay! So, welcome to the Priestess Novena. As I said, it's day 5 of this 9-day journey. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me, whether you've been here every day or you're just jumping in today or anywhere in between. I know it is perfect. And so, if you're new to my work, my name is Lisa Espinosa. I'm a spiritual career coach and modern day priestess. And this Priestess Novena is a teaching from my forthcoming book, Birthing the Priestess Within. And so, what is the purpose of a novena, of this 9-day journey? When I channel, this teaching just kind of landed in my heart. And I remember waking up early Saturday morning, like early, like 4 in the morning or earlier, because I've often am awakened at that time. And the Priestess Novena invocation that we say together during the novena just kind of came through, and I wrote it down. I did a little tweaks, but it flowed pretty quickly. Hello, Oralia, welcome. And I knew then, when that line, 9 days to clear lifetimes of fear, that this was a powerful practice beyond our intellectual understanding, that it was a sacred, holy practice, and that it was specifically for those of us who are called to the priestess path, whether you use that word or not. But the priestess path, what is that? That is the calling to be a channel of unconditional love for yourself and for others. And that is not something that is for the faint of heart, as you can imagine, right? That's a big ask, to be a channel of unconditional love for yourself and the world. Yet, I really believe that it is a call that we are invited to answer. Hello, Deborah. So good to see you. And so, thank you for saying yes to that invitation. And this particular novena is all about embodying divine leadership. So we've been talking about that all these days. And what is the entryway to that divine leadership? It is our inner child, really inner children. And specifically, this novena, we're talking about those teenage years, or that inner teenager within us. So why is that so important when we're stepping into leadership? First of all, let me just review. If you are here, you already are a leader, okay? So whether you're comfortable with that word or not, you are. And what is a leader? When I'm talking about a leader within this context, I mean that you are here to be in service. Not a martyr, not rescuing, in service to the divine, to source, to love. And when we say yes, when we commit to embodying divine leadership, we're saying yes to this life, a lifetime of shedding what isn't real, shedding the trauma, the wounds, the outdated beliefs, the insecurities, all of that. And it's a lifelong practice, so that we could keep showing up in an authentic, compassionate, kind, powerful way. So leadership always involves that inner journey, divine leadership. And it involves you being seen and being heard. Your leadership will look different than anybody else's. So there's no comparison. You'll know what your leadership is like. And as I said, you already are a leader. So this is about going to the next level of leadership. So what happens when we go into the next level? If you're watching this, whether here live or the replay, that means you're being called to the next level of leadership. So if you didn't know that, you know now, right? You're being called to the next level of leadership. And so what always precedes that is deep inner healing that involves our inner child. It seems so counterintuitive, doesn't it? Or it seems so illogical. Like our ego mind thinks, well, leadership, that's all about being an adult and forcing and pushing and all of that. Why would we do inner child work? But this is precisely if you want to be a leader with integrity, a leader that doesn't, I mean, gosh, we've all experienced or observed leadership that is abusive or oppressive or narcissistic or just ineffective, right? We've all experienced that. And it's a reason actually why many of us are like, ew, no, I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to have power. I've seen people abuse it. No, no, no. But I just want to break it to you that we don't have that luxury anymore. We have the responsibility to take on the mantle of leadership. We really do. It is not, if you look at the planet, there's a lot unfolding, right? And I don't mean this as in an apocalyptic way, but there is a lot unfolding. There's a lot of polarity, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot. So we are being invited to step forward and be the beacons of light, the wisdom keepers, the examples of embodied divine leadership. We can only do that by staying committed to our inner healing. We cannot fool ourselves anymore. Like, that is the reason that leaders end up either becoming ineffective or abusing their power is because at some point they weren't able to continue with their inner healing, or maybe never even did that journey. And I don't want to say that in a judgmental way, because everybody's going to find their way eventually to that place. But if you're here, this isn't about eventually, this is about now. So your beautiful teenager, if you think about your teenage years, right? We're talking 13 to 19. Those are powerful years, right? Those are years where you're not exactly a child. You know, you're not like a little child. You're not an adult. There's so much happening in your physical body, right? There's all those hormonal changes. There's all those energetic changes. I mean, oh my gosh, there's so much happening to your chakras. I mean, there's so much unfolding. In a healthy society, there would be so much support, right, for those teenage years. And perhaps you had that. You know, you might have experienced that great support during the teenage years, your teenage years. The truth is, many of us didn't. And this isn't to blame our parents or judge them in any way. This is just a reality, right? That even if you had a wonderful parents, often those teenage years, right, between 13 and 19, where you're figuring out your identity, where you're figuring out who you are, when you're figuring out what you want, right, where you're in so much transition, there can be little traumas, little wounds or big ones frozen in that time. And so when you're getting ready to step into more leadership, what does that mean? You're getting ready to be heard more, seen more, be bolder, be unapologetic. I don't mean that you're going to be some harsh person that's in people's faces and like, that's different. I'm not talking about that. Your leadership will be your leadership. It can be wrapped up in a lot of gentle energy, and that's fine. Or not. It could be very fierce, wherever you go with it, it's fine. But the truth is, as you keep stepping into leadership, you are being guided to remove the masks and the facades and the things that don't serve you and show up bolder. And so what happens? Your inner teenager can freak out and kind of be like, whoa, no. This is too scary. I'm going to get rejected. I'm going to get judged. Right? I'll be rejected. I'll be judged. I'll be abandoned. You know, all sorts of things that can happen unconsciously. I see it all the time. I mean, of course, I've experienced it as I mentor my clients who are all, you know, going to the next level of their career. All of those insecurities come up. Oh, if I put myself out there, people are going to say, who is she to think she can channel angels, right? Or who is she to write a book? Or why should we listen to her? Or, you know, they imagine all of this judgment. And the truth is that there is. I have been judged plenty of times for my teachings and all of that. So that is going to happen. So, but there's also going to be many more people that are like, you are exactly what I've been looking for. You're what I've been looking for. You're your teachings, your book, your writing, your message is exactly what I've been looking for. I didn't even know I was looking for it, and then I heard you and I knew. So, but without taking that inner journey to get to know your inner children, get to know your inner teenager, defrost her from the past, right? And we did that in the previous days. I think it was Novena Day 3, where I took you on that inner journey where we traveled back in time, right? And you had your soul kind of identify what year, what age needed the most healing. For me, it's been throughout the novena, my 16-year-old, right? For you, it might be different, 13, 14, whatever it was. So as we've been doing that, we're on day 5, right? So we've been doing that, and your teenager is getting to come to the present moment and realize, oh wait, we're not a teenager anymore. Wait, I have an adult who is now here taking care of me, meaning us, right? And so when we go forward to take the next steps in our career, it'll come from a place of sobriety. I don't mean sobriety of like alcohol and drugs and all of that, although that's important too, but I mean sobriety that we're sober, we're lucid, we're clear. We recognize, it's okay to be scared, right? We can recognize, like, this is making me nervous to do this Facebook Live, or this is making me nervous to send this blog, or it's making me nervous to say no to that client because I know I actually am not the best for that person, and I'm leaving myself open for the perfect client. All of this makes me nervous, but that's okay. I can talk to my inner child. I can send her love. I can tend to myself and take the steps anyway. That's spiritual maturity. That's embodying divine leadership. That's what is needed in the world. So, today as I was preparing, I was really receiving the image of a seed, a golden seed. And I've done a lot of classes and meditations with the symbolism of a seed. And I came this morning. And so I feel like when we go on this inner journey, you're going to receive a seed that represents what you are, this next phase of your career, this next phase of your leadership through your career. So I want to share the Mother Mary card that I pulled for today. So every day I've been pulling from this Mother Mary oracle, right? And today when I, prayed and shuffled, the card that came was this one, Our Lady of Becoming. Sorry, there we go, Our Lady of Becoming. And sorry, you can see the rings. And please know, when I bring up ascended masters like Mother Mary, especially those that are connected to Christianity a lot, please know that this is from, thank you, Jen, without any sort of dogma or doctrine, right? This is connecting to the ascended master, the high priestess that Mother Mary was, right? And so this, I'll just read a little bit because this Alana Fairchild's oracle decks are amazing, but there are many pages of information, so I'm not going to read all that. But so it had so many amazing parts that I was like, oh, which one? Okay, here we go. This oracle comes to you with a message of grace and divine blessings from Mother Mary. That which you sense within, that unfolding destiny of which you dream, will be. Yes, beloved, it is time to believe, to act with a sense of inevitability rather than hopeful fantasy. Isn't that so beautiful? I'm going to read that again. Act with a sense of inevitability rather than hopeful fantasy. This is not a time to hold back and compromise on what is possible, but to surrender the how to the Divine Mother and allow her to assist you in becoming what you are deep within. All right. That says it all, right? It's like, don't play it safe. Don't worry about the how. Focus on the why. Why? What lights you up? Why? Why do you want to share your unique medicine? Why are you, like that? But the how comes from our ego and from those scared parts within us, and they can derail, and the how can derail us all the time. And then here you have the Blessed Mother saying, leave the how up to me. Take action with that sense of inevitability. Like, yes, you are here to be a leader. You are here to be seen. Whatever it is that you're dreaming is going to come. So, and then the other card I got was beautiful Isis. And look at gorgeous Isis. And this message is balance, career, and home life. So Isis, what an amazing mentor to have, right? She was a queen, a mother, a wife, a queen, right? A priestess. So she, when I was tuning into the message of that card today, it was, I think the word balance is often misunderstood. It feels like a lot of pressure, right? But it's this, I like the word flow better. So I feel like Isis was saying that, like, flow, tap into the perfect flow of your home, personal, career life. Because the truth is that there are cycles in our lives where we're creating a lot in our career, and it doesn't mean that we're out of balance unless you're neglecting your self-care, you're neglecting your relationships and things like that. So I feel like Isis is bringing this beautiful message of flow, of like aligning with the highest flow of your career and your home life. And whatever that looks like for you in this cycle. We're in the fall season. If you're watching this here in the northern hemisphere, it's like the fall season. So the autumn flow is different than the summer spring flow. And you also have individual flows depending on just your sensitivities. You know, my favorite season is the autumn, and my birthday's in October, and the fall season's always, and I was a teacher for the longest time, right? So for the longest time, summers were off, and then September came and school was on, right? So for me, the autumn season's always very fertile. There's always a lot of healing, a lot of unfolding, a lot of doors opening. So that's just how the cycle of my life. Not that the rest of the year I'm just stagnant doing nothing. It's just a different energy in the fall. So trust that, and we have beautiful Isis to mentor us through that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start with the inner journey to receive your seed. And then after that, we're going to go into the 9 minutes, right? So you're going to sit right on the center of infinity, right? This is my book isn't this big, by the way. This is a blown up version. So you're going to sit on that center, right? You're going to visualize the infinity symbol. And not yet, but that's where we're going to go. We're going to say the invocation together, light our candle, and be in those 9 minutes, those 9 minutes of sacredness and holiness and healing and transformation and miracles. But let's go into that inner journey for you to receive your seed before anything else. So go ahead and take some nice breaths. And as you do that, I invite you to connect with your beautiful body, your heart. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head and the tips of your toes, so that you have a full awareness of your physicality. In our teenage years, especially if we had trauma or wounding, it was very common that as teenagers we disconnected from our body, or we hated our body, or we were suspicious of our body, or we were uncomfortable with all the changes happening in our body. So it is an act of self-love to use our breath to connect lovingly with your body. And as you do that, I invite you to bring your awareness to your hips and your pelvis and visualize those roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, deep, deep, deep into the earth. Releasing anything that's unnecessary, anything that does not serve you. And you're just allowing your soul to be in charge of that. And as we've been doing every day, right, we connect our roots. We know that our roots are connected. Everyone here live, everyone watching the replay, whenever you watch the replay, we're creating this temple space together, a co-creative space, an interdependent space. There's no rescuing, there's no competition, there's no martyrdom. This is co-creative. We all benefit from each other's healing. And breathing in that beautiful energy from the earth of renewal, of strength, of focus, of power, of presence. Letting that flow up your legs, up your back, all the way to the crown of your head. So again, you're feeling so present. As you close your eyes, if your eyes are still open, and I take us all, we're all entering again that seventh plane, the seventh plane where instantaneous miracles, where all-knowing exist. You are still grounded, you're anchored, you are safe. And before you, you see a beautiful garden. Now this garden is not full of flowers yet. It's like a little plot of land that is getting ready. Like you can see the soil is so fertile. It looks so healthy. And you know, like, oh, this is going to be a beautiful, gorgeous garden. Right now you just see the soil. You can even smell the dirt. It smells so good, so rich, so fertile. And you understand that this is the garden. This is a garden that represents right now your beautiful career, your beautiful leadership. And it represents the next level, the next chapter. So as you stand there looking at it, you decide to sit. You sit or you kneel by it. You're sitting there at ground level. And your teenager is there as well. However old she is today, for me, it's still my 16-year-old. For you, it might be a different age. And you're showing her like, oh, this is the garden that represents this next chapter of leadership, this next chapter in my career, this next chapter, this next cycle of me being seen more. And because this is day 5, even if you're just joining us for the first time today, because it is day 5, your teenager, you notice that she's more relaxed, right? She understands, oh, that time has passed. She understands that you have healed a lot. She understands that she is safe, that as you go forward in this next chapter of your career, she is safe, she is protected. She's actually not in charge. She's not the one that's putting herself out there. You as your adult self, you guided by your soul, surrounded by all of these beautiful ascended masters, including Mother Mary and Isis. So in that space, you just feel your teenager's joy. Because remember, this isn't just about healing the wounds. It's also about receiving the gifts of your inner teenager. So feel her joy, her passion, her spontaneity, all this stuff that might have been buried under the wounding. And so you're feeling that, you're infusing yourself with that energy as you look at this garden. And then you're sitting by the garden, she's sitting there, and then suddenly beautiful Mother Mary appears, and she's sitting there too. Right? She's sitting there. I see her kind of cross-legged, like in lotus pose, but very relaxed, smiling. She's loving seeing this interaction between you and your teenager and looking at this beautiful garden. And beautiful Isis joins you, and she's sitting there as well. So it's almost like this beautiful circle, right? Mother Mary, your teenager, Isis, and you, and you're all around this little plot of this garden. Now the flowers aren't there yet. The soil is rich, is ready for this next cycle of growth in your career, in your leadership. And you're suddenly aware that the soil is starting to vibrate. There's this little vibration, there's a little sparkle. And it's almost like at the center of the plot, as the soil vibrates, there starts to be, it's almost like it's creating a space for a seed that's going to be planted there. It's like you see it like, oh, there's going to be a seed that we plant there. So the soil is kind of moving out of the way. It's making this little crevice for the seed. Just like if you garden, right? You dig up a little bit to put the seeds. Well, this is what's happening. And your teenager's excited, like, ooh, she can't wait to see the seed. Mother Mary and Isis, they have such playful energy as well in this moment. Remembering that we are in the seventh plane, right? We're instantaneous knowing, where miracles exist, where quantum leaps exist. So suddenly over, kind of hovering over this little garden, this little plot, it's this golden light, this beautiful golden light. And it's like a golden funnel, like this funnel, and it's just vibrating and twisting. It's gathering so much energy. And you're all looking at it and you're aware that this is creating that golden seed that's going to be planted. So you're just allowing it to happen. You're just witnessing this golden seed being birthed right in front of you. And finally, it's ready. You see the golden seed, this beautiful golden seed. The way I see it, it looks like almond shaped. This gold, bigger than an almond. This golden seed, and it's just kind of hovering over the soil, and it's starting to go down right until it goes right down in that little crevice. And there it is. And so you look at the golden seed, and your heart links to that seed. And Mother Mary's heart links to the seed. And your teenager's heart links to the seed. And beautiful Isis's heart links to the seed. So this is it. You're sitting around this garden. You have your golden seed there. Light is radiating out from your heart into the seed. And so is Mother Mary and Isis and your inner teenager, all connecting, aligning, blessing the seed and being blessed by the seed. And so as we get ready to go into the 9-minute silence, during those 9 minutes, this seed is going, which of course we know the 9 minutes are beyond 9 minutes, right? But during that time, this seed is going to be infused with everything it needs to be birthed in exactly the right way. Perhaps you will continue with this, in the 9 minutes, maybe you'll receive guidance about what's in the seed or images, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just be in stillness, in that darkness of the soil, right? In the darkness of the womb. Whatever unfolds for you, trust it is perfect. So visualize, and I just kind of see like we're going to stay by the garden. So visualize that infinity symbol underneath you. You're sitting on that center point. And I see Mother Mary and Isis doing the same. And your teenager has a choice. She can sit on it, she can lie on it, she can dance around, she can move around. She can choose whatever feels good to her. And so let us get ready to begin. You've got your candle. So I've got my candle here. The wax is all the way down here. Okay. And if you don't have a candle today, that's okay. And you have the prayer that I send out on my newsletter, right? This is the invocation. So we're going to say it together. And let me see, I have my timer set. Okay. So let's hold the candle. And let's do this together. As this candle burns, my soul within me burns. As this wax melts, resistance in me melts. 9 days to clear lifetimes of fear. As I give, I receive. As I heal, I am healed. Doors open. I walk through. I am ready for the new. Abundance comes with ease and grace, for I have finally found my place. All right, so I have my timer set. I will start it and I will see you on the other side, everyone. I'm gonna do this together. All right, let's begin. Take some nice cleansing breaths. If there's anything you want to write down in your journal, take a few moments to do that. I'll drink a little water. And of course, feel free to stretch your body. However that unfolded for you, trust that it was perfect. It was very quiet for me. It was, I had an image right at first of the seed kind of turning into this big, beautiful tree. But then it was, my mind wanted to get like, okay, what's in the seed? But Mother Mary and they just kept bringing me back to like, just be in the darkness, be in the soil, let yourself not know the details right now. And so that was really powerful for me. Just want to share that. And my teenager at some point was just like, okay, this sounds great. And then she was like, she went and just, not played, but she just went off. Not in a bad way, but it reminded me how when we do this inner child work, it doesn't mean like we're constantly talking to them, right? When they, just like real teens, right? Like teenagers, if you've ever mothered a teenager or hung around teens, which I've done both, teaching 7th grade and having 5 children who are now all young adults, they don't stick around and talk to you all day long, right? You have these conversations sometimes at the most unexpected moments. When they feel safe with you, they don't need to be around you all the time. And that's kind of how she was. Like, it was like, she was like, okay, cool. And she just kind of went off to check out the rest of the garden. So that was really interesting. That felt really good. So let's, a couple of things. So as you know, we'll have day 6. Are we in day 5? I always lose track. Yeah. Yes, we're over halfway. 8:30. So from now till Friday, it'll be 8:30 in the morning. Saturday, I'll have to change the time a bit because we're going to go visit the boys who are not little boys. they're at Champaign in college, so I know we'll be leaving early, so I'll tell you on Friday. But from now till Friday, it's 8:30 in the morning. You have the replays, so if you missed any of them and you want to go back, you can do that. Also want to let you know, on October 17th, I believe it is, I should have double checked, I will be at Relax for Life in Barrington. I'm super excited about that. It's an in-person event. It's a Sunday, 1 to 5. There are CEUs available, and it's just going to be, it's the 3rd time I do this specific class. It's all about answering your inner calling. It's all about, it takes this work and goes deeper with it. How do you connect with your parts? How do you unburden them? How do you, but all specifically around your career. What are the different ways your soul speaks to you? How do you, what are interrupter rituals, and how do you stay in that consistent conversation with your soul throughout your day to have the discernment to take the steps that you're meant to take in your career? All of that and more. And you get a free copy of my book. So I would love to connect with you in person. If you're interested in that, you can sign up for that through my website. Oh, thank you so much, Tammy. Our Facebook page is through Relax for Life in Barrington. Okay, so let's pull a card. Star Temple Oracle, because that's what my teenager loves right now. So let's see what's the message as we end here today. All right. I don't even know if I know how to say this name right. Aethusa, Sun Goddess. Look at the keyword. I'm so excited about this. Lift off! Literally with an exclamation mark. Lift off! I open my senses to feel delicious pleasure and passion. Look at this amazing card. Look at that. She's lifting off like a phoenix rising, right? This is so our teenager when they're just like in their joy, right? She's like, whew. Right, and so again, lift off. I open my senses to feel delicious pleasure and passion. So it is safe, right? I said this yesterday. I've said this many times. Right? When we have the courage to bear sacred witness to the pain, to the sadness, to the even to the shame, which can be so difficult, right, for us, because shame is not supposed to be, it's a poison. But when we have the courage to bear sacred witness, not to drown in it, but to bear sacred witness to that, it actually then creates the space for us to really feel our joy, our passion, our light. So this is what's happening. This is what's happening as you've been taking this courageous journey. Look at this. Love it. Lift off. All right. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow at 8:30. Bye.